Okay, reading passage 2, second nature. Let's get on with it. What have we got? We've got a summary first up, matching statements and matching information to the paragraphs. A very common combination. These three, they're often put together, these three question types. One thing I noticed though, usually, well, in Cambridge 13 and 14, they've been putting this one at the end, and then they've been putting this one at the beginning. So they've switched it from how they used to do it, and I think they're doing it to make it more difficult because they don't want you to do this one first, because this is the one that you should do first. They're trying to confuse you, make it more difficult. They put this one first, and then students waste all their time on this one. So we're going to obviously do the summary first. Let's look for some keywords. Psychologists have traditionally believed a personality was impossible, and that by a person's character. Let's go for character. There's no numbers and names here, so we have to try and find some nice nouns. This is not true. Notice the negatives. They often help. According to positive psychologists, so that's a type of psychologist, who say that our personal qualities can be seen as habitual behavior. Great. Maybe fixed as well. Notice the important keywords often, not always, but often at the end of the clause. End of the clause. Right. So I think it's going to start in paragraph 1. These are the first questions. So let's go take a look quickly before we continue. So we're looking for psychologist's character, positive psychologist's habitual behavior. Psychologist's character. All right, but we want positive psychologists there. That's quite nice. I think maybe psychologists will be everywhere. Habitual behavior is there. Great. Okay, so that's quite interesting because this kind of goes on to a new paragraph over here. So I think what they've done is combine them. One of the easiest qualities is and a however. Let's see if we can find those. Now, qualities less challenging, less difficult, easy. So they've used the double negative there. And what was it? A however. Oh, and there is the however there. I'm going to make that pink because it's very important. Great. So it's quite clear what they've done here. We can see that very quickly. This should actually look like that. Great. So then I would actually go and start with these two, see if I can find them, and then move on to these three. Psychologists have traditionally believed that a personality something was impossible. What was impossible? A personality, single noun, and that by a something, a person's character tends to be fixed. A single noun. A personality, single noun was impossible. Where's the impossible? It's negative. Can you see anything negative? A person's character, a personality, there's the negative. Cannot. It's impossible to do what? To undergo a transformation. A single noun. And that the key traits of personality are determined at a very young age. A transformation. Impossible to undergo a transformation. So I'm quite sure a personality transformation was impossible. And that and I suspect is, let me make it pink, and I think, I'm not sure, that and is there, joining the two sentences. The key traits of personality are determined at a very young age. We're looking for singular noun. Maybe it's that. The key traits of personality are determined at a very young age, and that by a very young age, a person's character tends to be fixed. Fine. Key traits of personality determined tend to be fixed at a very young age. But we're only allowed 2 words. Which one do you drop? Of course you drop very, so this must be young age. Now, students might even ask me, why do you keep young? Well, one simple answer. There are other answers, but this is a. So we can't have a age. It would be an age. So you must keep the young. Right. Not bad, not bad. This is not true. Some negatives according to past. Okay, that's not important. Right, we can move on. One of the easiest qualities to acquire is something, however. Regardless of the quality, it is necessary to a wide variety of different. This must be noun plural. Different. You can't have, when you have a wide variety of different, or even a wide variety, or many different, it must be plural. Can't be countable, can't be singular. And then a person must understand and feel some. So this can be uncountable, some coffee, and plural, some trees, in order to increase their happiness. So this is going to be uncountable noun, and we're talking about a quality, plural noun, and plural or uncountable. No singular nouns anymore. So let's do this one. One of the easiest qualities to acquire is, I'm going to make this pink actually. Some qualities are less challenging, that's easiest to develop than others. Optimism being one of them. One of them, what are the them? Them is the qualities. So this isn't one of the qualities. They're saying, for example, optimism. You could write this sentence as, some qualities are easier to develop than others. For example, optimism. So we know we're looking for a quality, an uncountable noun, can only be optimism. Not so bad. However, it's necessary to learn a wide variety of different something in order. However, we need to learn mastering a range of skills. That's a wide variety of, a range of. This is mastering is learning. So really not so bad. A wide variety of skills. Looking for a plural noun. A range of, a wide variety of, no problem. In order for a new quality to develop, for example, let's see if we can find an example. Often they put it there, but they paraphrase. A person must understand and feel some in order to increase their happiness. Plural or uncountable, but it's something that we understand and feel. First of all, is the example. Oh, there it is. There's the example. So easy. A person must understand some. Now, we can understand and feel joy. We can understand and feel passion. You must be open to experiencing. We can understand and feel negative emotions in order to increase their happiness. Happiness is joy. So, in order to increase their happiness, you must be open to experiencing negative emotions, you must understand and feel some negative emotions. So notice what they did there. This clause comes second in the text, and this clause comes first. They said something about joy. So this is quite clearly negative emotions. We were looking for either plural or uncountable, so it's a plural. Okay, really not so bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do that quite easily. That was actually very friendly. Now, the question is, what do we do next? I would do this next. It's not a terrible idea to quickly look at these. Very important exam technique is look at something, then leave it and come back to it. Your brain actually processes it a bit in the background. A mention of how rational thinking, maybe we can just make some keywords just for later. Physical goals, a sad experience, rethink their academic career path. These are unique nouns to these questions. Risked his career out of a sense of duty, or maybe career as well, but career is there as well, so maybe not. Anyway, rational thinking, physical goals, sad experience, career path, academic career path, sense of duty. Keep them in your head. Let's tackle this one. This is actually the big bad one of the passage. So, just check they're doing a statement. So it's what these people said. Now there's only 4 over here. So I would go to see what he said and then come back and see if we can match them up. Christopher Peterson, what did he say? Christopher Peterson is right there. But remember, there's only 4 statements here, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 people. So, and they don't say you can use anyone twice. So 3 of these we're not going to use. Christopher Peterson says, the evidence is good that personality traits can be altered, can be changed. This is not what he said. He realized, no. He learned, no. He says, my extroverted behavior is spontaneous. Right, people must accept they do not know much when they first try something new. We can highlight some keywords as we go. It's important for people to actively notice when good things happen. Courage can be learned once its origins in a sense of responsibility are understood. Sense of responsibility. See, I actually remember sense of duty. We must remember that for later. You see, it's good to play between the question types as you go along, not only just do one. Possible to overcome shyness when faced with a need to speak in public. No, I don't see anything from altered. Extroverted behavior is spontaneous. Maybe the shyness thing. Speak in public. Okay, anyway, let's skip it. But there's something about shyness and being introverted and extroverted there. David Fargenbaum. Similar transition. He was preparing. He had an accident. We want what he sports career. You're just scanning here. But he didn't say anything. I don't say that. See what he says. So maybe we can come back to it later. But there's nothing that he said. We want a statement by him. So that's important to notice. There's no statement by them. He launched. He took action. It's just saying what he did. He found. There's nothing about what he said. No statement. All right. So Susan Segerstrom is next. Susan Segerstrom believes that. So that you can say that she said. Key to increasing optimism, optimistic behavior rather than positive thinking. So this is optimistic behavior. She recommends, she says, you train yourself to pay attention to good fortune by writing down 3 positive things that come about. That's quite important. This will help you. Outcomes happen all the time. I saw something about that. It is important for people to notice when good things happen. Pay attention to good fortune. Good fortune is good luck. Let's just check that. She believes the key. She recommends you train yourself to pay attention to good fortune. Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's D. So what are we looking for? Don't write paragraph D. I've made that mistake before. This is C. Yeah, you see, I almost wrote paragraph D, and that's wrong. I've seen students do that, and I do it myself. So this one, I'm quite confident about that one, so I'm even going to put a line through it. All right, Tanya Streeter. Tanya Streeter was a free diving, what did she say? Is intense but demands of Streeter learned to untangle her fears, and here's what she says. In my career as a competitive free diver, there was a limit to what I could do, but it wasn't anywhere near what I thought it was. There was a limit to what I could do, but the limit wasn't near what I thought it was. Trying something new, no. Courage, sense of responsibility, no. Shyness, no. I don't see anything there. We're looking for the easy ones first, remember. Todd Cashdan. Where's Todd? Paul Sylvia. Todd Cashdan has this advice. As a newcomer, you have to tolerate and laugh at your ignorance. You must be willing to accept the negative feelings that come your way. So as a newcomer, you have to tolerate and laugh at your own ignorance. You must accept the negative feelings. I saw newcomer there. People must accept they do not know much when first trying something new. Very easy. Ignorance is do not know. When you don't know something, you're ignorant. So I'm quite confident about that. That was Todd Cashdan. Great. So we're getting rid of the easy ones first. Courage can be learned. Courage, bravery, courage. That's a good word. They can't paraphrase that too much. Sense of responsibility understood. Shyness, speak in public. Kenneth Pedaliozzi. There. Speaking out against something he thought was ethically wrong. A new manager. He recorded each instance, knowing his job. Eventually the manager was the one to go. I can't see what he said though. Pedaliozzi document, I don't see any of that. There's a lot about him, but I'm looking for the things that he said, because we're looking for the statements. Overcome shyness when faced with the need to speak in public. Cynthia Puri, what did Cynthia Puri say? According to Cynthia Puri, so she says this, that courage is not motivated by fearlessness but by moral obligation. So that must be the courage one. Courage can be learned, a sense of responsibility, moral obligation. So that must be G. That's quite straightforward. Alright, then we just need the shyness one, and that was the difficult one. These three were actually not bad, but it's just this last difficult one. What I would do now is, if you find that this is causing you problems, move on. Let's go and see if we can find some easy ones here. Come back to that one later, because now, especially with this question type, we've seen quite a lot of the passage and we might have some clues about what has already been used. For example, we saw earlier, risked his career out of a sense of duty. And then over here, we saw responsibility, sense of responsibility. It's exactly the same. What paragraph was that? That was this Cynthia Puri. So that was in paragraph H. So we must look over here for that. Example of how someone risked his career out of a sense of duty. You can read this if you want, but I'm quite sure that it meant speaking out against something he thought was ethically wrong. Courage is over there again. The new manager was intimidating staff, so he did all of this. Knowing his job security would be threatened, risk his career. So yes, that's quite fine. I'm quite sure of that one. So it's a good example of how one question helps you with another question. In this example, in this paper, this is not helping us with anything. Sometimes this does help us with this question type, but it didn't in this paper, but the other question type, this one did help us with one. So that's definitely paragraph H. Right, rational thinking. Physical goals, sad experience, academic career path. Now, one thing that you should do over here is take a look at which paragraphs we've used, which paragraphs we haven't used. Because it's more likely that they'll pick from the paragraphs that we haven't used. So we've used A in the summary, we used D, F, H in the matching statements, and we used H in one of the matching information. So they haven't used these ones yet for the matching information. So my advice is that you start scanning with these ones. Of course, I'm not saying that they will not use these again. They might well. In fact, they probably will use at least one of them again. But I'm just saying we haven't used these yet, so let's start with our scanning here, see if we can find something in one of these, because it's more likely that it will be here. And remember, we are limited by time. So let's go and look at our scanning words again and then scan only B, C, E, and G. So scanning words are rational thinking, physical goals, sad experience, academic career path. Physical goals, rational thinking, sad experience, academic career path. Now we want to scan over here. I see academic. He realized that as an academic his reticence would be disastrous. So he learned to be more outgoing and to entertain his classes. This is not about academic. It's the only one that I see that's about academic. So I want to go and look again at this. A description, he decided to rethink their academic career path. So I don't see much here about how rethink his path. All he did is he learned to be more outgoing. So that might have been a bit of a distractor, that academic. There's nothing about him rethinking his path. Anyway, let's move on. What are we looking for still? Rational thinking, physical goals, sad experience, academic career path. An accident maybe is a sad experience. Sports careers may be physical goals. The university had no services for suffering from depression, sad experience. He launched a support group to help others. He took action despite his own pain, his sad experience. These are getting difficult now. These are getting into the Band 8, Band 9 things. How some overcame a sad experience. I think maybe that one. Anyway, I'm not convinced. Let's move on. Free diving, the sport of plunging deep into water. She can hold her breath. What did she do though? She learned to untangle her fears from her judgment of what her body and mind can do. That's the important thing, I think. Untangle her fears from her judgment of what her body and mind can do. Rational thinking, achieve physical goals. I think it's that one, but wow, super difficult. I'm not seeing anything else. I don't see sad experience, academic career path. I think I have 2, but it's getting really tough now. Anyway, let's look at G. PhD research. So maybe that's academic. He was miserable. He was sad. His research wasn't compatible. He took a break and he did alternative healing techniques. When he got back, he switched labs. You see, at this stage, you're reading in kind of detail. He switched labs. He looked for joy in everything. I think he was an academic. He was doing research, and he changed his path. He changed his academic path. So I think that's the academic one. He rethought. He took a break. He went away. When he got back, he did a different kind of academic work. So, wow. Really tough. At this stage, don't worry if you're doing a little bit of guessing, because these are getting really tough and you must watch the time. So I would put G there. Sad experience. I'm probably going to go, well, we haven't looked at this paragraph over here. Hold joy back. Sad experience, maybe. Focusing on being safe might get through a business lunch, or you think about the conversation. I don't really see anything there. So at this stage, I've got to kind of do a little bit of guessing. So this is a lot of sad words here. Depression, pain, accident, suffering. So I'm probably going to go with the sad experience there. They don't give you much else. He overcame. Is there anything about overcame? Maybe over there. He took action despite his own pain. He overcame a sad experience. Not easy, but we pushed for time here, so I'll go with C there. Rational thinking, physical goals. I would just guess one of these other ones. You could either guess about here's his physical goals, but we've used that one, and then here is physical stuff, a sport, and then she used rational thinking about body and mind, so I'm going to go with that one because it's also about physical goals mainly. And then we just got to find this last one. Shyness, speak in public. We've used G, we've used E, we've used C. Only one left is B. It's not always like this, but it's quite common. They try and use all the paragraphs. Not always. So I'm going to just go with B. Well, not with B, it's a different question type with this guy, Christopher Peterson. But let's just check what he says. Can confirm it. Overcome shyness, faced with the need to speak in public. Learn to be more outgoing. Overcome shyness, speak in public. Entertain classes. Fine, close enough. B. And not B, Christopher Peterson, A. Right, and that's how to do that. Yes, it got a little bit tough at the end. We needed to do a bit of guessing, really scanning fast, matching up keywords. It's possible when you might have missed one or two of them. That's fine. This is passage 2. It's not an easy passage 2. You've only got 20 minutes. Important thing, though, was to not allow this and this to eat into your 20 minutes for the reading 3. You must get into that reading 3 with 20 minutes to go. Don't let these difficult ones eat too much of your time. Have a guess and move on. Great, let's move on to reading 3.